Welcome. It's great to see so many parents and friends and family here as we close out this year. I'll officially begin our ceremony today to celebrate the successes of our community this year. So as a tradition, welcome Cardigan faculty, Mr. and Mrs. Day, and students. We meet today in the closing moments of the 2022-23 academic year, a year with the focus set on returning to normal. As with any year, we have been tested time and again to be a stronger and better community. Better teammates, better students, better friends, and better brothers. To close this year together is a testament to this community's commitment to one another, and it's a privilege for all of us to be here. Today, as I said, we will celebrate your accomplishments, and we will be led by our next school leader, Terry Langenteague.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Day, faculty and staff, and my fellow Cardigan brothers. We gather here together, one final time as a school, with our big brothers from the 9th grade ready to head off to exciting new adventures, and the rest of us continuing here or somewhere else. I want to emphasize that we are sitting here together. We have been here together through difficulties and successes. Together is the most important word in that sentence. Everything we have accomplished this year is because we have come together as a community and put each other before our individual needs. At the beginning of the year, many of us arrived alone, strangers, unsure that Cardigan could ever become the home that you and I know it is today. And even the returners came back to new dorms, new roommates, new teams, and new challenges. But we have come together and become a close-knit community over the course of the year. This year, we have gone skiing together on ski holiday, hiking together on mountain day, played music for the community at all 3 concerts, performed with each other in the 2 plays, created art that has won awards and impressed us in the Suyi Gallery, plunged in the freezing lake together for polar bear, and competed on teams together, including last weekend's successful Eagle Brook Day. We have learned to be better students, be courageous in the face of difficulty, honor our responsibilities, ask for help when needed, push for more, and to understand that a growth mindset and hunger to improve are more important than any single grade or award. For all these things, for all the big things and the small things, thank you for making this year memorable. Different teachers have encouraged us to look around and recognize this time is special. We've been taught that taking pride in little things and appreciating every moment, not just the big ones, is what makes a community successful. We have been helping the other fella by supporting each other, and we have come a long way together. We, the faculty, staff, and student body, have worked hard together through amazing success, but we've also persevered through some unfortunate events. Never forget the challenges that have made us stronger. Don't forget that there is always someone to thank as well. Our time on the point may be fleeting, but none of us will ever forget it. We have gathered here to celebrate some tremendous achievements at every grade level, especially the class of 2023. But I want to personally thank each and every one of you for making this school year a special one. We have accomplished so much, and I'm certain that with hard work and all of the lessons we have learned at Cardigan, the future will be bright. Now, it is my pleasure to welcome Mr. Novak to the stage for the Dorm Citizenship Awards.
The Dorm Citizenship Award recognizes students who, in the eyes of their fellow residents, have been the most positive, kind, and helpful citizens throughout the year in their respective dorms. When I call your name for your house, you can come on up from my left here, your right. We'll have a handshake and a photo, and then you'll be off to the other side of the stage. For Banks House, Cole Longfield. For Brewster 1, Tony Lee. For Brewster 2, Chance Zhu. For Clark Morgan, Chun Chung. For Dewar, Federico Lujan Lalo. For Franklin, Santiago Vega Khalifa. For French 1, Kunhu Park. For French 2, Nazar Tatus. For Fennell, Joe Jia. For Greenwood, Aiden Malone. For Hayward 1, Thomas Choi. For Hayward 2, Apollo Wong. For Hinman 1, Nathan Caples. For Hinman 2, Alan Jang. For McCusker 1, Davis Jameson. And for McCusker 2, Artemio Zaragoza. Next up is Mr. Sinclair with the 2023 John Dudley Clark Community Service Award.
Mr. Dudley Clark was a great leader. He served the Cardigan community for over 30 years, delivering mail in large packages to students' rooms, driving, waiting, and caring for injured boys on hospital runs, and the tradition of handing out donuts to students at morning break were only some of the ways Mr. Clark served others. His kindness and great spirit was shared within the Canaan community as well, delivering newspapers on Sundays, walking a dog for someone, or volunteering at local nonprofits, just like many of the Cardigan boys did this year. Joey Wong truly embodied Mr. Clark's actions of kindness in serving others. Whether it be in clubs or other settings, he found time to help deliver packages, work in the community garden, and gave his time back to Cardigan. Regardless of the activity, Joey always was ready to serve and will do so with a smile on his face. Congratulations, Joey.
Next up are Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Capistran and Mrs. Silich with the Art Awards.
Hi all. So, to draw a comparison to our recent athletic awards, I like to think of the 7th grade art award as a commendation of grit. It's not about the student who has the best technical skills or the most mature, developed style, but rather drive and perseverance. This individual went above and beyond on every project throughout the year, was a phenomenal steward of the art room, and also in the face of adversity, with a broken hand, he never said, can I get out of this, or I can't do it. Instead, it was Devin Kokonos always worked with his challenge, worked through his challenge, and he found a way to move forward without missing a beat. So Devin Kokonos, where are you at?
It's my pleasure to recognize an 8th grade student who has showcased outstanding creativity, curiosity, and courage in the arts. He has demonstrated dedication, passion, and excellence in the field. This past fall, he had his first solo 8th grade exhibit in photography. He submitted numerous works to the National Scholastic Arts Competition and was awarded a gold key, a silver key, and 2 honorable mentions. This young man is quiet and humble with a strong eye for composition. He is bold, capturing thought-provoking images and tackling complex subjects addressing social issues. I'm excited to see where his work continues to take him in the years to come. Please join me in congratulating Johnny Zhu as the recipient of an 8th grade Cardigan Mountain School. I will preface the 9th grade award with the fact that this year it brings me joy to celebrate the 9th grade artists among us at Cardigan. These boys are scholars, athletes, and artists. A select few are taking the art of photography to new levels on their own time. For the first time in Cardigan history, a handful of this class's most talented artists submitted works to the Ava Gallery Upper Valley High School competition. In the National Scholastic Art Award composition, Cardigan was awarded a total of 22 Scholastic Art Awards. 16 of these awards were 9th graders. I invite you to explore the Suyi Gallery to enjoy some of the current student work. Today, I stand before you to honor a young artist who has demonstrated remarkable dedication and unwavering commitment to his own drawing and painting. He often leaves us in awe of his work. His ability to capture beauty, emotion, and depth in his drawing and paintings is truly remarkable. It comes as no surprise as this talented artist has been recognized for his work at the local Ava High School art competition. He was tied for the title of second best in show, with the winner as a 12th grader. This achievement is exceptional and highlights the impact of his artwork as to all viewers. Additionally, he holds numerous awards in gold, silver, and honorable mention from the Scholastic Art Award competition, further solidifying his talent. His painting titled Banks House has been selected to join the Cardigan Art Collection of alumni. Please join me in congratulating Time Tangler-Sumpham as the recipient of the 2023 award.
Next up is Mr. Good with the Drama Award.
Courage comes to mind as the Cardigan value needed to take that first step forward from trying out to putting on a performance. What begins with dread and terror gradually becomes thrilling and exciting, and in the end you discover you will survive, and some may even want to do it again and again. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, as they say. This year's recipient of the Underclassmen Theater Arts Award, Terry Langety, has been a stalwart of our theater program. Having been in every show for the last 3 years, he epitomizes the gritty, dogged determination that is required to do a good job. He has worked his way up with each production, from a musician providing sound effects in his first CMS play to his most recent role as Cacho, the boss, in this spring's production of The Factory. He has honed his craft. He has refined his creative process beyond the glamour and romance of being an actor to become an effective and efficient and distinctly reliable thespian who learns his lines, takes direction, studies his part, knows the story, understands his role, and delivers. Thank you, Terry, for your incredible contributions to our theater program. This year's recipient of our 9th grade Theater Arts Award has also demonstrated an extraordinary commitment to the program over the last 4 years. His interest in performance, both musically and theatrically, is unquestionable and selfless. He loves being part of something bigger than himself. As a 6th grader, he eagerly gave up time as an understudy to help us put up the spring production of A Simple Task. He has been a contributing member of nearly every production ever since. And this fall, he played a crucial role as Hinchy, the project manager who kept the action rolling forward despite no units being made and the occasional swerve from the script. We would like to recognize Justin Gong for his contributions and his consistent dedication to the Cardigan Theater program.
Next up is Mr. Franco with the Music Award.
The Music Award is awarded to the student who has first and foremost shown excellence in his music class, and second, gone above and beyond his peers in sharing music with the community and using his talents to abide by Cardigan's core values and the principles of our music program: creativity, culture, and confidence. Despite being new to Cardigan this year, this young man swiftly established himself as a paragon of leadership within our strings group, with his enduring commitment to regular practice, his quiet but constructive demeanor, and of course, his outstanding talent on the violin. His accomplishments this year include serving as our concertmaster for the entire year, performing 2 solos with the string ensemble, and being perhaps the first man in all of history to add a violin track to a rendition of Peaches. As his class navigated its performance in the winter concert, his performance of the Violin Concerto No. 1 by Jean-Baptiste Accolé nearly 1 week ago may be his crowning achievement from this year, not due to the length or difficulty of the piece, but rather the patience, constructive self-criticism, and fervency with which he undertook this endeavor, despite obstacles that he encountered as he spent the entire school year preparing it. I will look forward to music being just one of the manners in which this fellow will lead our community forward next year. For his unwavering dedication to musical excellence, his reliability, and outstanding musicianship, this year's Underclassmen Music Award goes to Mr. Michael Yoon. For the 9th grade Music Award, the recipient of this year's award has been a staple of our program for the past 2 years, during which he has capitalized on every musical opportunity to which he has committed, never faltering in his pursuit of a musical challenge or his commitment to the program. He is among the most reliable members of our string ensemble, and while his absence will be felt next year, he will achieve great things in his secondary school orchestra. His expertise now transcends classical music, after having been a stalwart among the string players in his music class's performance of I'm Still Standing in the spring concert. Both times, this young man's patience and confidence have empowered him to lead by example, and we wish him the best in his future musical ventures. For those of you who are at Sports Awards, I'm going to be very clear. I'm going to say his name very clearly. If you think it is you, please, please come up and receive your award, because I assure you, it is Mr. Aaron Yu.
Next up is Mr. Burt with the Woodworking Award.
The Golden Hammer Award is presented once a year to honor a student who embraces the ideals of the woodworking program and who develops a true spirit of craftsmanship for the work he produces. It has been an amazing year in the shop. there were so many students and projects considered for this award. Jamie Nicodem, where are you? Okay, made a home plate display case for all his prized baseballs. Shoe racks, tables, hockey sticks, a hockey gear storage box, baseball bat. Peter's out, where are you? Peter, where are you?
Here he is.
Where? Hey, that came right out of Dick's Sporting Goods, right? That baseball bat, it was gorgeous. Johnny's used hand-carved fish, swords, scabbards, bowls, plaques, cutting boards. Santi Vega, where are you? Where are you? Hey, that cutting board with the stripes and the crisscrosses, unbelievable. It's gorgeous. Coasters, chess pieces, jewelry boxes. Max Scarabot, where are you? Is it a surprise what you made for Mom? Okay, I can't tell you what it was. But Mom, is she here? Is Mom here? Oh, okay. It was the 3-tiered jewelry box. Gorgeous, masterpiece. Wine racks, caddies, serving platters, trays. The list goes on and on. So many deserving candidates. This year's recipient designed a chair with what appeared to be a floating seat by building a black cabinet with black ropes to suspend the seat. The black ropes were utilized, making them invisible inside the cabinet. He spent considerable time during study halls and open shop opportunities to complete this unique and challenging project. This year's Golden Hammer Award goes to Chance Jew. Congratulations. You deserve it. Okay.
Next up is Mr. Winnick with the Barney Award for Creative Writing and the Addison Memorial Prize.
Good morning. The Edward Barney Writing Competition was established by Friends of Cardigan Mountain School, Mrs. Edward Barney, to honor her husband. The Barneys were neighbors to our campus and regularly walked to enjoy the nature of our beautiful school. On the passing of her husband, Mrs. Barney asked the school to create a creative writing award in honor of her husband because of his love for the written word, and especially his love for reading creative stories. This year's competition included 27 submissions by students from each of our 4 grades. The stories were judged for clarity of writing, attention to the prompt, and the creativity of the story. The winning essay this year, entitled The Mermaid Syndrome, is a haunting story of a shipwrecked boat and the police's efforts to locate the survivors. The writer takes his reader on a journey through a profoundly emotional story of a human fisherman meeting and falling in love with a mermaid. Despite the romantic overtones of their meeting and the burgeoning love affair, a tragic death leads to the devastating realization that this coupling was not who they initially seemed to be. The author tantalizes his reader into believing that John has been lost without his loving Annie for years. As we read through the devastating letter of loss and longing from John to Anne, the author brings into focus the reality that neither John nor Anne are who we thought they were. The final twist shocks the reader as the police report reveals that this is a missing person case involving a psychiatrist and a delusional patient, and it still remains unresolved. This year's Edward Barney Creative Writing Award goes to Sung-Hyun Willie Park. Step over here. Congratulations. Nice job. The Addison Memorial Prize for for writing. This particular honor has been awarded since 1962 and is presented to the student who has been identified as the most capable and effective writer in the 9th grade. Over the course of this year, Mr. McCusker, Mr. Novak, and I have enjoyed the honor of teaching some incredibly capable writers in the 9th grade. Together, Mr. Novak, Mr. McCusker, and I have selected the following student whose portfolio of written work in both poetry and prose has impressed us as the most clear, engaging, and effective use of expository and creative writing over the course of the 2022-2023 academic year. What distinguishes this year's recipient from his peers is his respect for the writing process. He proofreads his work meticulously and is willing to undergo multiple revisions, no matter the time or what else it may entail. This year, he has been exceptional with both analytical and creative writing. He can construct strong, evidence-based arguments, and he also writes with style. His words have purpose and his prose has voice. He can persuade and move his audience, and he continues to improve because of his commitment to writing well. For his enthusiasm, creativity, and courage in writing, it gives me great pleasure in honoring today Sun Hoon Willie Park.
Next up is Mr. Frost with the James N. Marion Sportsmanship Awards.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Day, faculty, staff, and students. Thank you to all our parents for their support of our student athletes in the athletic department throughout this year. Thank you to our coaches and the entire athletic department staff for their time, dedication to making this year so outstanding. Most of all, thank you to our student athletes for their hard work, improvement, and joy they bring to us all with their dedication to practice and play on and off the fields. Before presenting the 2023 James N. Marion Sportsmanship Awards, I want to recognize a special coach. As we noted last week at our baccalaureate service, we are renaming the Cardigan Wrestling Room the Coach Alan Kreuzberg Wrestling Room. After 27 years of coaching here on the Point, that's 81 different teams, hundreds of coaches mentored, countless student athletes helped, and more lessons taught than most of us could possibly learn in a lifetime. For this and so many things that have gone on behind the scenes and out of the spotlight, for that is the way for him, we would like to present Coach K with his very own Cardigan Varsity Letter in recognition of his 27 years of dedicated athletic excellence. Mr. Kreuzberg, please come forward. Coach Marion worked here as the athletic director, a teacher, coach, and mentored everyone in our community for 47 years. He was the kind of person we all hope our boys will grow up to be, as he was always looking to help the other fella first. Coach Marion always had a smile on his face, an encouraging word, a steadfast presence of integrity, work ethic, and dedication to his family, friends, and our school. The plaque that hangs in the Marion Athletic Center reads, the James N. Marion Sportsmanship Award, awarded to the student athlete in each grade for their enduring athletic sportsmanship, who in the eyes of the entire coaching staff best embodies the true spirit of the Cardigan Mountain Athletic Program. The 2023 James N. Marion Sportsmanship Award for 6th grade goes to Samuel Hunt. The 2023 James N. Marion Sportsmanship Award for the 7th grade goes to Cameron Blatz. The 2023 James N. Marion Sportsmanship Award for the 8th grade goes to Cole Longfield. The 2023 James N. Marion Sportsmanship Award for the 9th grade goes to Donald Eddie Andrews.
Next up are Mr. Welsh and Mr. Capro with scholastic recognition.
Thank you, Terry. Cardigan Mountain School provides a rigorous academic program. Teachers design unit and lesson plans to help each boy grow into his best self and find a passion in learning. There are written exams, Socratic seminars, performance-based assessments, and project-based learning that force students to wrestle with new ideas, reflect on personal beliefs, and demonstrate mastery through application and analysis. The winners of this year's Scholastic Awards have embraced the habits of learning and in doing so earned exemplary marks. Mr. Capro and I will now begin calling up those boys who have earned an award.
For 6th grade, in science, Caden Leroy. For mathematics, Andy Cho. For humanities, Jinwoo Ham. And in Peaks, Gavin Donnellan. For 7th grade, in humanities, Sean Flynn. For science, Daniel Reed. For mathematics, Anson Lee. For world languages, Tigger Tangler Sumpun. For English as a second language, Thomas Choi. And for Peaks, Eli Heffer.
For grade 8 in English, Jack Peretti. For math, Dustin Cho. In history, Ben Clary. In science, Griffin McClure. In world languages, Davis Jameson. In English as a second language, Nizar Tatus. And for peaks in the 8th grade, Tony Lee. And for the 9th grade, in English, Eddie Andrews. Math, Willie Park. In history, Kai Kinoshita. In science, Joe Jha. In world language, Michael Tanzi. And in peaks, Patrick Kim.
Next up are Nate Watson and Willie Park with our Outstanding Underclassmen Award.
It is an honor to announce that this year's recipient of the Outstanding Underclassmen Award is
Cole Longfield.
Next up is Mr. Welsh with our closing remarks.
Mr. and Mrs. Day, Cardigan faculty, students, family, guests, thank you. Thank you all for making the 2022-2023, I got it right the second time around, academic year a success. Thank you for working so hard every day to leave the point better than it was the day before. This is a time to celebrate our successes of our community and those of the class of 2023 as they prepare to leave us in a few short days. Every school year that closes brings us to a crossroads. On one hand, summer sits in front of us, a chance to be with our families and friends, a welcome breather from everything that we know as school and its routine, a time where things slow down. On the other hand, this is the last moment where everyone here will be together. There is something powerful in that, a sense of uniqueness that each year is never the same, because so much of what we do depends on what we, each of us, bring to the community. Things at Cardigan go by quickly, often because we are always moving forward toward another task, another challenge, or looking for what is next. Take a moment in these final seconds and slow down. And soak in what you have here and reflect on what you've accomplished, And remember, none of this happens alone. So please thank those who made it possible for you to be here. As you soak in these moments, this week has been one of lasts. The last chapel, the last time you played or practiced with your spring team, your last advisory, the last meal you shared at your table, your last class at Cardigan for the year or maybe forever. These things seem small, but they are important moments, some with greater meaning than you know, because they've contributed to your experience at Cardigan, and some that you'll remember, and you don't know that you'll remember until long down the road. Underclassmen, before you leave, again, offer a moment of thanks to the ninth graders that matter to you, and thank any faculty that have positively influenced you here on the point. It's a simple gift to give, one that will feel good for you to give it, and that act can have an impact that you don't know, simply by recognizing those that have helped you. Now, before we continue, I ask you to help me thank every teacher, coach, dorm parent, and advisor for their efforts in helping us all make the point better this year. And now, I have the unenvious position of sharing these remarks as the last commitment between many of you and summer. So with that in mind, I will try to keep this both brief and to the point. I'm hoping to share 3 things with each of you today. 1, you will very likely never find a place quite like Cardigan again, where everyone is working hard to help each of you do the right thing all the time. Second chances are important, and someday you will need one. Maybe you needed one here. And someday you'll need to give one. 3, do something to make the community better. This may be seen or unseen, and it can start with simple acts of empathy. At Cardigan, we ask a lot of you. We ask you to challenge yourself every day in big ways and small, whether that request is a hard assignment, to take care of your personal space, or to make sure you are in the dress code. Sometimes we ask you to handle adversity in working through difficulty with a roommate, accepting a tough grade, and recognizing your ownership when things don't go your way. What is special about Cardigan is that so many people surround you that care. And while at times it may seem they are asking you to make your life harder, they ask you to do more, be better, do it right, whatever the phrase, because they care deeply. The other day, Mr. Gray returned a jacket to a young Cardigan boy in the dining hall. Noting his plate was devoid of anything other than pork and turkey products, Mr. Gray reminded the young man simply to eat more pork, and hopefully he wouldn't forget his jacket next time. Yesterday, Mr. Capro spent the afternoon with a group of boys that wanted to go fishing. And for many of you ninth graders, Miss Jocelyn and Miss Fidelli have spent hours preparing for the seniors' final days on campus. These are small moments that happen all the time at Cardigan, and I picked these ones of most recently, partly because they do happen all the time. I could list countless examples where one community member goes out of their way to help another. But you all know and have your own stories and moments that you will bring with you beyond the point. As for second chances, 10 years ago, I got to give a dog a second chance. And that dog didn't work out for someone else, someone who was unwilling to change how they viewed how something needed to get done. By providing this dog a second chance, I learned that sometimes taking a chance, not on something that was perfect, but something rather imperfect, can lead to so much joy. Today, that dog has logged a lot of miles with me, lived at 2 boarding schools, and grown to seek affection from people where he once was incredibly skittish and scared. He's always far surpassed the expectations his original owner had. I share that anecdote as a link to something we do here on The Point every day. We set high expectations every day. And when we don't meet them, because sometimes we don't, we get up the next day and we push ourselves to meet them again. This is another thing that makes Cardigan such a special place. The people that surround you are incredibly optimistic that even in the moment you might not have gotten it right, that you will get it right, and you get a second chance each time. Statistically speaking, this is one of the biggest predictors of educational success and growth. Finally, in terms of doing something to make the community better, just this morning at breakfast, we recognized Cole Brown's efforts to run a dorm soccer championship. This never existed, but Cole gave up his time to do this, to make sure it ran efficiently, effectively, and fairly. You don't always need to do something on this scale to make the community a better place. You can simply start by being kind, recognizing you might not know why someone else is having a hard time, and not hold it against them. So, push yourselves to keep mastering the learned ability to empathize with others, or seek to understand a perspective that is different than your own. Because we work hard at Cardigan to encourage you to do this. These little things, little and big things, require you to make sacrifices and not think only about yourselves. Woven into this fabric are the values we try so hard to live by at Cardigan. This year, you all have taken this challenge, and I know those that are leaving Cardigan will carry this with them, and those that are returning will take on this challenge to create another special community in the years to come. Like my first reminder, Cardigan is unique because people care. We tend to show our care through our actions and pushing you to be your best. Push yourselves next year and enjoy these final moments together. Now, I'll turn it back to next year's school leader, Terry Langeteeg. Great job, Terry. Thanks very much.
I want to thank the faculty for their care, patience, and effort. I also want to thank the ninth graders for being great examples of leadership and the entire community for making the year a great one. Whether you leave today with your family, tomorrow on the Boston bus, or in just a few days after you graduate, please know how much we care for you in this community. I am so grateful that I was able to share this year at Cardigan with you all. None of us will really know what Cardigan meant to us until years from now, but I hope we can still enjoy this moment. I'm excited to see what the future holds for this community. Thank you, class of 2023, for making this year great. Returners, remember that it is up to us to make the 2023-2024 year great. I wish you all a great summer, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again in the fall. You are all dismissed.